Hi, today from Frombork, Poland. Today I will tell you about one of the great inspirators, one of the greatest minds in history, and we will be talking also a little bit and maybe a little bit more than a little bit about money. So, see you in the next part. Who is this monument behind me? Some of you will have guessed already. This is the great mind of Poland. This is the Nicolaus Copernicus. This guy is said to have stopped the sun and moved the earth. How is it meant? This guy constructed a heliocentric world view and world picture, and he actually proved mathematically that it is not the sun that is going around the earth. It is another way around. This is the earth that goes around the sun, and all the other planets go around the sun as well. Many people around the world know this guy as a great astronomer, but most people don't know that he was one of the universal geniuses of late Middle Ages in 16th century. He lived here for 30 years in this castle, in the Frombork castle, where he worked as a church official, taking care of the ownerships of the church. And he was reading a lot, and he was also a doctor, he was a painter, he was a mathematician, but he was also a great economist. And he produced 3 books about economy. 2 of them are about coins, and one of them is about actually coining the coins. He constructed the law of Gresham-Copernicus, which says that if you have 2 different currencies in the economy, then the better currency is pressed out of the market by the worse currency. It means that if you have a worse currency, meaning a currency that loses value over time, then people tend to keep the good currency, to save in the good currency, to just not use the good currency, and they spend only the bad currency because they want to get rid of the bad currency that loses value. And this is an economic law that was invented by this guy, and at the same time by the English economist Gresham, and that's why it's called Gresham-Copernicus law. And he was proposing some monetary reforms here in the kingdom of Poland at that time to improve the monetary system, because they were like the coins of the king that were circulating, they were good quality, and then there were Prussian coins that were of decreasing quality, meaning they were coining lighter and lighter coins, and they were destroying the currency that way. And that's why he was proposing to control the mints, that the king should control the mints and enforce the high quality standards of or the same quality standards for every coinage. And that's what Copernicus was about. And at his lifetime he was actually known much better for his economic activity and for his administratorial activity than for his astronomic knowledge, than for his knowledge and his science of astronomy, because actually his main work about his astronomy was published at his death. This is the tower of Copernicus here in the Frombork castle, and this actually belonged to Copernicus. He had an office here, study room, so to say, where he was reading when he was writing his scriptures and when he was doing his calculations. And some claim he was doing his observations, his star observations from here, but it is just not enough space for the big instruments he was using. and he was probably using the garden of his house that is outside of the castle on the hill here for the observations. He had built a stage where he put his instruments and was doing the observations and taking the measurements. But what is really interesting is that this is not only called Copernicus Tower because Copernicus worked here for many years, but it actually belonged to Copernicus. He was the owner of the tower. He bought it from the town or from somebody from the previous owner for approximately 1,000 ounces of silver, and from then on it was in his ownership. He wasn't renting, he was really the owner of that tower. So that's it from Frombork. I hope you like this video. If yes, give me a thumb up. If not, of course, thumb down. Subscribe if you haven't. Share this video with your friends, with your loved ones. One day they will thank you for that. I talk here a lot about money, about economy, about business, about how the best entrepreneurs in the world think and act, how our today's billionaires think and act. And I talk here also about the greatest minds of the history, about my great inspirators, my mental mentors. So if you like this video, you will certainly like my other videos. I invite you to watch them. That's it for today from Frombork, Poland. I wish you a fantastic day. Let's do something extraordinary today.